This is my first analysis for the week, analyzing gold and GJ, and this is the 12th of January. It's currently 1:30 a.m., so it's about 7:30 in the UK, so we're about 30 minutes before London session. And these are my thoughts. All right, first we'll start with gold. If we look at the daily, so I don't trade Mondays because I let the market show me a direction. What I see is that we have come back to this level and we have printed a nice wick. Although it's a bearish candle, it's a nice doji, but the wick on the downside is a lot longer. It's more than 200% of the upside candle. Now, would this prove out to be a three-pin formation? Maybe we have about 14 hours left in this daily candle, and we'll see. On the 4 hour, what we see is that this void here has been filled. This we get was another added confluence. You had the 4 hour level, you had the 4 hour band, and then you had the void here. The price just took off without ever visiting and just took off. So price had to push into there. Now, of course, for my entry, I'm actually thinking of a counter trend entry right now. What we can see is that we are now in a bearish trend on the 4 hour at least. Even on the daily, it is bearish. What I can see now is it's due for retracement, possibly to the 1900 level. That would be optimum for me, and I'm looking to write that up there. Why do I choose the 1900 level? If you drop down to the 1 hour, we can see this huge momentum push from here, and this void here is never filled. So the confluences I have is psychological level, the 4 hour level, this 4 hour band, and that void. We are seeing a nice inverted. Well, you can kind of see it's an inverted head and shoulder. I don't really care. It's you see the first tap in this level, second tap, third tap, and then boom, there we go. So if we take this, what we've seen now from the 4 hour, 1 hour, take it to the 30-minute on gold, what can we see? Like I was saying, we had that first tap, the second tap, and then the third tap. And from there, you've had that change in structure. What do I mean by the change in structure? You've had the lower low, then the equal high, lower high, higher low, and now it's forming a higher high. So what am I waiting for? I'm simply waiting for a higher low, preferably to be formed around this level for me to take this trade from up there to from up here to preferably the, let's see, something about there to the 1900 level. Hopefully that'll be my trade of the week, and it's not even, that's on Tuesday. So let's see how this plays out. Of course, things don't always happen exactly as you want them to, but that's my analysis on gold. I don't really have a prime option for sell right now. I feel like looking at the 4 hourly, we did some heavy. The bears were in charge mainly throughout the week, and we have seen some dollar weakening across the board at the start of this week. So I think that we need to come back into this level and maybe then continue, or maybe even go further for a deeper retracement. We'll see when we get there. So I have set an alert here, and that's where I'm looking to take my trade. Now for GJ, personally, I thought GJ was going to continue in the range. I thought it was going to continue in the range, but it could be that we are at time when it is looking to break out now. Look at the daily. What do we see? We see a huge wick left to the downside. So what does that mean? It negates this candle because although this candle even closes a bigger body than this one. This one's body is so tiny that it closed within the open and close of this previous candle. And the wick reached into the lows of 140.5, yet the momentum wasn't able to sustain. So we see this huge bullish engulfing candle that came back to this level, huge bullish engulfing candle that brings the price back up. So it does look like we're ready to break, but of course we can't know until we actually break. For me, I have two things on GJ. So I'm looking at the 1 hour mainly, and as you see, I said I'm monitoring and seeing how the 8 o'clock candle, so the London candle closes. Is there momentum? Does it break through this structure? Does it create equal highs? Because although we did form this here, technically we are still in a downtrend market. We broke through all this structure to downtrend market. You can choose not to count this and say that this was just one big retracement. Personally, for me on the intraday, I would count that, and I would say this here was a high, lower, low, and now it's formed a low, it's formed a higher high, higher low, potentially higher high. But if it doesn't break here, then it's creating equal highs. And already we can see on the 13 minutes giving us a shooting star bearish engulfing. So if that happens, all I'm looking for is this. I'm looking for a nice pop, maybe something like that, a retest, back up, retest, and to take this further back down. That's scenario number one. But if we do break the structure, what that means for us is we are heading into new territory of 142.5 to potentially fill this huge void that we have left here since September. We haven't visited it since the 1st of September. So that is my analysis on GJ. Two options. If we do break through on the 4 hour, what will I be looking for? Easy. Just like when we broke through this range, I would want price to do what? To go back here. I would want price to create new structure. So we did break out, but I waited until we came back. So waited until we came back with the 4 hour, visited, then took the trade. Same thing here. I need to wait for clean breakout. We'll probably most likely visit it again and then take the trade there, either down or up. But looking at it, I don't know if we're going to break. So that's my analysis for GJ and gold, and it is the 1st of January, and we'll see how those play out at the end of the week.